Hello, welcome to the presentation Measuring and Maintaining Performance in Lean Management. Lean, as we already know, is an approach focusing on eliminating waste and increasing customer value. But for Lean to be truly effective, it is not enough just to implement changes. You also need to measure the results and, most importantly, sustain them over the long term. Many companies take the first step, improving processes, reducing wasted time, or reducing inventory. But if they don't have a measurement system or strategy to maintain the new results, they gradually return to the old inefficient ways of working. This is called backsliding. The goal of this lesson is to show how to properly set key performance indicators, KPIs, how to track results over time, and what strategies to use to maintain the benefits of Lean. We will also show several advanced Lean tools and concrete examples from practice that show that measuring and maintaining improvements is key to the long-term success of an organization. If we want to sustain Lean improvements, we need to measure them using the right indicators. The four most commonly used in Lean managements are the cycle time. This is the time that elapses from the start of a process until it's completed. A short cycle time means higher efficiency. The second indicator is lead time. That is the time from the moment the customer places a request until they receive the finished product or service. Lead time is essential for customer satisfaction. The third indicator is inventory levels. Too much inventory means waste and tied up money. Too little inventory can lead to shortages. Getting the balance right is key, and this is where the just-in-time principle comes into play. The fourth indicator is the defect rate, i.e., the number of errors or faulty products. Each defect represents not only the cost of repairs but also the loss of customer trust. Together, these indicators give a clear picture of how effective the processes really are. But it is important not only to monitor them, but also to actively work with them, to evaluate them, and look for the ways to continuously improve. The improvements that Lean brings are only meaningful if we manage to maintain them in the long term. And for this, regular monitoring is essential. If we measure the processes only once, there is a risk that old habits will return over time and efficiency will drop again. Monitoring allows us to see trends over time and thus detect deviations in time. What does it look like in practice? We can use control charts to show whether the process is staying within the set limits, or we can use dashboards with current data, for example, the number of orders, processing times, or error rates. And also regular reviews and team meetings where the results are evaluated together. The advantage of monitoring is that it detects problems before they affect the customer. For example, if order processing times start to increase, management will notice this before the customer starts complaining. Monitoring therefore functions as both as early warning and a feedback that helps keep processes on track. One of the biggest risks when implementing Lean is backsliding, a return to the original, inefficient ways of working. At the beginning, everyone is motivated, but after a while, old habits can appear and the results start to fade. How to prevent this? First, training and education. People need to understand that Lean principles and why they changes make sense. If knowledge is lacking, they will easily revert to what they know. Secondly, internal audits and regular checks are used to verify that processes are still being followed and that no deviations occur. Third, a culture of continuous improvement. Lean is not a project with fixed beginning and end, but a long-term way of working. If a company supports Kaizen, i.e. the daily small improvements, people gradually get used to the fact that changes are normal part of the job. And finally, the involvement of all employees. If Lean is only maintained at the management level, it will not succeed. In the long term, every employee must have the opportunity to contribute and see that their ideas make sense. So the key maintaining result is a combination of training, control, support, and culture involving everyone. In addition to basic methods, Lean also offers a number of advanced tools that can help processes and maintain their high performance. One of them is the Six Sigma. This methodology focuses on reducing variability in processes and improving quality. It is built on data and statistical analysis and helps organizations achieve results with minimal errors. Another tool is Total Productive Maintenance, or TPM. And the goal is to ensure that machines and equipment operate without downtime and breakdowns. Thanks to the preventative maintenance and the involvement of all employees, expensive production downtimes are prevented. The 5S methods, which we already talked about, maintains order and efficiency in the workplace. Remains still a fundamental pillar. When everything has its place and processes are standardized, there is less chance of error and chaos. And a very important tool is value stream mapping, or VSM. It is a visualization of the entire process from the beginning to the delivery to the customer. Thanks to VSM, we can clearly see where there are bottlenecks, unnecessary steps, or waste. These advanced tools gives companies the ability to go even deeper, not only maintaining basic standards, but also taking quality and efficiency to the next level. To show how performance measurements and maintenance works in practice, let's look at a few examples we already used in previous presentations from different industries. Manufacturing. One car manufacturer used the value stream mapping to reduce the cycle time by 20%. They identified steps that did not add value and standardized the process. The result was faster production and lower costs. In healthcare, one hospital managed to reduce patient waiting times by 30% thanks to Lean. Analysis showed that the biggest problem was the delays in translating documentation between departments. After digitalization and better coordination of the teams, the entire process was significantly accelerated. Or in retail, the retail chain reduced inventory cost by 15% by implementing the just-in-time principle. Instead of hoarding products in warehouse, it began to better plan orders based on the real demand. In all these cases, measuring performance using KPIs, subsequent analysis, and systematically implementing changes played a key role. Without data, these organizations wouldn't know where the problem was, and without a new culture, they would be not able to sustain the improvements. That confirms that Lean is not a theory, but a practical approach that works in different environments when combined with discipline and regular measurements. Today, we focus on the topic of measuring and maintaining performance in Lean management. We have seen that implementing Lean principles is only the first step. Real success only comes when the measurement results regularly maintain them over long term. We showed 4 key performance indicators: cycle time, lead time, inventory levels, and defect rates. And these give us a clear picture of how efficiently our processes are working. We also talked about monitoring. Control charts, dashboards, and regular reviews are essential to detect deviations in time and be able to react before they affect the customer. At the same time, we looked at how to prevent a return of all habits. The key is training, internal audits, Kaizen culture, and the involvement of all employees. We also mentioned advanced Lean tools such as Sigma, Six Sigma, TPM, 5S, and value stream mapping that helps keep processes at a high level. And we saw practical examples from manufacturing, healthcare, and retail that systematic measurements and maintenance has real results. The main message is simple. Lean is not a sprint, but a marathon. Sustainable improvements require discipline, data, and people engagement. If we combine these elements, we can achieve not only short-term savings, but long-term comprehensiveness and customer and employee satisfaction.